Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle and I make videos about books. My channel is literally me and I'm glad you're here. Today, I just had to make a video about a book that made me question my own beliefs, my own mind, my own sanity. A book that completely caught me off guard, that was just a random find at a bookstore a while back. I was drawn to the cover. Have you ever impulse bought a book just based on the cover art? Just having a brief idea about what it was. It wasn't in my normal genre. I don't usually read a lot of mysteries. I prefer thrillers, like more fast-paced type crime novels. Anyway, I picked this book up not knowing what to expect. And Lucy Foley, who I have enjoyed before, made a little blurb. She recommended the book. So I thought, okay, well, this is a first-time novelist. Why not give it a shot? It was at a discounted price, so that made it all the better. The book I'm talking about is Death in the Air by Ram Murali. Now, I did mention this book in a previous video, my night versus day Friday reads. I had just begun. I was only about 70 or so pages in at that time. Since then, I have finished this book. And wow, what a ride. So here I am to talk about it. This is one of the reasons I decided to make this channel, is because I don't have anybody that I can talk about this book to in my real life. So here we go. The premise of this book is that we follow very well-to-do lawyer by profession named Ro. He's recently been unlawfully let go from his job. His manager, who is a tyrant and a bit of a bully, discriminated against him, and he got a huge payout. So we're finding him when he's just gotten the news. He's still in shock. He goes to Bermuda for the birthday party of a friend who is also very wealthy. At this birthday party, he happens to meet someone in his close circle who agrees to take care of the problem of his former manager and exact some kind of revenge. What this revenge will be, we have no idea. Our main character, Ro, agrees to it. So Alex, the guy who makes the proposal to take care of the manager, says, okay, I'll do it. You don't need to get a hold of me. I'll let you know when it's done. End of story. So now we follow Ro as he travels to a spa at the base of the Himalayas to go relax before Christmas. He is headed to India to visit his family, but he decides that he needs to get away for a bit and just relax, gather his wits. And it turns out a bunch of his other friends from the birthday party are also going to this same spa. So he's like, great, we'll go hang out, we'll relax, we'll meditate, we'll do some healing together, etc., etc. So the main action takes place at a spa, as depicted here, called Samsara, which is located in the base of the Himalayas. And it's a very strange place. That's made clear right from the beginning. Everyone is dressed in the same cotton white pajamas. It gives off kind of cult vibes. When Ro first arrives, he's freaked out because his ride from the office to where he's staying is in this golf cart with this maniac driver who almost runs off the road, and he's all scared and panicked because he's like, what kind of a place am I at? This is weird. They're not allowed to use cell phones. They have to communicate by writing little notes to each other on fancy stationery. So yeah, there's all types of weird things that he's having a hard time getting used to at this place, but he's determined to stick it out. His friends are there. So after the first couple of days, he kind of settles in. He attends yoga. He attends scheduled classes like that, yoga classes, meditation, and scheduled appointments with the doctor that works at this place. The doctor makes all kind of bizarre recommendations that are more like orders and commands rather than doctor advice. So that's kind of odd. He meets up with his friends, they hang out, they go for dinners. They're all over the top ridiculous. They are really ostentatious. There's a preoccupation by this author with the way they look, the way their hairstyles are, their jewelry. One of the ladies that Ro is friends with, named Amrita, has these emerald earrings that are brought up again and again and again. At first, that really annoyed me about this book is I thought, why is he so preoccupied with their jewelry and their dress and their hairstyles and everything? And then I thought, well, no, this is just a device to show how ridiculous and how pretentious and over the top they are. So I totally got it after reading a bit, and it didn't annoy me after a while. I got used to it. The pacing of this book starts off really fast. Like you're thrown right into the action from the get-go, from the birthday party in Bermuda to finding out about Rose's situation with his former boss, going to this weird spa, meeting up with all the characters who are also at this spa. Most of them are his friends that we're dealing with. There's also a yogi who they refer to him as the Blight, the White Blight, because he's a Caucasian yogi that does not belong there. He's really strange. A lot of people don't like him. So he falls under suspicion just generally before anything even happens. People don't like this guy. Then the first murder occurs, and it doesn't happen until well into the book. Probably just over halfway through is when we get our first murder, because this is a murder mystery. And it's not really surprising. You could see that coming a mile away. Our first murder happens, and then the owners of the spa approach our character, Ro, because he's a lawyer. They know his background, and they ask him to represent them in this murder investigation. They don't want to get sued because the person died on the premises under really suspicious circumstances. And so he agrees to represent Samsara, the spa, in the murder investigation. What follows is what I consider to be the slow, kind of draggy part of this book, which is the investigation. You have like the Agatha Christie element of everyone's in a room. There's an investigator, a detective, doing questioning all the witnesses. Ro, our main character, is there taking in all the questioning and everything. And we follow his inner monologue and what he's thinking of everybody. So although this isn't the most interesting part, I get it. I know why it's necessary. So it's a typical kind of mystery. And I thought, well, I don't know if I really want to keep reading this. Is it going to pay off? And then we get 3 more murders that happen in quick succession. So I thought, okay, I have to read and find out how they're going to wrap this up. Like who did it? It's a typical whodunit. And there are enough quirky people in this book to keep me reading. So I kept on, and I got through the closed room investigation type parts. And then finally we get to where we find out who did it. We find this out well before the book ends, which isn't typical. Typically, to me, they save it for the last couple chapters, and then there's a resolution. Sometimes there's a bit of a surprise at the end. With this book, you find out who the murderer is well before the end of the book. So that was different. And then, although I kind of it wasn't a surprise. I thought, okay, well, that's weird. I could have seen that coming a mile away. I figured out who the murderer was, which is always a disappointment. However, in the last couple chapters of this book, and I'm talking maybe the last 30 pages, there's not 1, not 2, but 3 major twists. It upended everything that I thought this book was. I had doubts about everything, including Ro, the main protagonist, who I had really grown to like. Although he was super wealthy, and normally people like that are portrayed as, kind of jerks, he was actually really likable in this book. So something happens at the very end, and it's like, wow, I did not see that coming. It makes you question who in fact did the murders. It was not who I thought. There's a whole entire new twist that touches on spirituality. It touches on our perception of reality, what is real, what is not real. And it goes way deeper than I ever thought a mystery book would go. It is crazy. The payoff at the end of this, if you can make it through the slightly little slow part of the investigations and the questioning of the witnesses, the payoff is so worth it. Like I said, it had me questioning my own thoughts about this, like, what did I just read? Yeah, it was crazy. So this is not only a random pick, it also happens to be my second 5-star book of the year. I hope to read more compelling books like this. I was really happy with this because I read out of my genre. I'm not normally a mystery person. Like I said, I like the more fast-paced thrillers. So yeah, I couldn't recommend this enough. I haven't seen anybody talking about it on BookTube yet, so I hope it catches on. I hope more people will read this. Like I say, this is a first-time novelist, which I'm blown away when they can hit it out of the park on their first published novel. And yeah, I hope you read it. Thank you for listening to me talk on and on about it. Like I said, this is one of the main reasons I created a YouTube channel, a BookTube channel, so I could just go on a rant like this. Death in the Air by Ram Murali. If you do check it out, please let me know. I need people to talk about this. I'm going crazy. Thanks. Bye for now.